So I was looking in the Lost Vault, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
and I found something that will be exciting. Um, we're a movie podcast, right?
Yes. So this is not a movie.
Cartoon movie.
Okay, no.
It has a movie in it. Dalmatians 3 for the PS2. It has a cartoon movie right here. I'm looking at it.
All right. All right, fine. How long is it? Go ahead.
It's 45 minutes. It's short, and it definitely will feel that length.
Do I get to do the last time that to you what you did to me the last time I got an easy 45-minute edit and then like immediately change that into like a 2-hour marathon of a bunch of media?
Uh, in theory, yes. I have another 45-minute cartoon. We could
I
do,
guess if you can think of something else that fits with this. God damn it.
we could do two 45-minute cartoons. I have two of them.
Oh my god, do you?
Yeah. I have Dalmatians 3 and Curly the Littlest Puppy.
It's your fucking choice. It's your goddamn choice. Pick what you want.
Fucking Dalmatians 3.
God damn it. I hate you so much right now.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people, aren't they?
What do you want to do with that?
This is a laptop. It belongs to my master. We can go onto the internet with it.
I don't want to go onto the internet.
Hi everyone, welcome to the final episode of Rough Cuts because I'm never talking to Boyks again.
What did I... sorry, what did I do? What? Huh?
Boyks had the most evil and horrible of intentions this morning. I can't believe what you did to me.
Okay, this isn't my fault, alright?
This is a pure trap. You set this. You know what you did.
I came prepared today
You
to
go
pick
ahead
a film,
and mention... Yeah,
to pick a film. We went
pick
over
a
the
film. To
list.
pick a film.
There was a
Yes.
list. I'm like, oh, but I also have the movie vault of lost movies, which we have never watched and nobody else has, because they're gone forever. Right? So I dig in the vault. I'm like, oh wow, a 45-minute movie. We should watch that. You're like, wow, I can't believe you would watch a 45-minute movie when you made me do that.
Let me just
All right,
keep
yeah.
going. Here,
Yeah,
no. It's fine. Listen, you know what? Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt. I'll let you continue to spin your web of lies
My bullshit? I don't know. What you're talking-
before I go ahead and undermine it with the truth.
Well,
and
you're the
distill
one who
it
said
through
45.
sunlight.
You said
Go
45
ahead,
is
go ahead.
not long
Yep.
enough. We need to do more.
Go-
Like, you were mad at me, so I
Like I
found a
said, I'm
second
gonna leave you
movie.
your
Yeah, I
whole
don't-
time. Yeah, is that how that happened? That's the end of your story?
That's why we got two movies. I don't know. I was just gonna do the one.
So anyways, Boyks had pre-planned out a thing where he had picked out two movies from his Lost Vault.
Yeah.
And he had them ready to go, loaded up, and on screen, he had a PS2 game preloaded, ready to play, that has a cartoon on it.
It says on the
Because he
box
went-
there's a movie. I don't.
Because, there was, you're not lying. But this motherfucker, knew, because he did this to me, where I accidentally picked a movie that we thought was a movie. Neither of us checked the runtime, we didn't realize. And that was the, oh god,
Rufus,
what was it?
yeah,
Rufus. I'm like, it was the Nickelodeon movie. And it ended up being 45 minutes. So Boyks was mad at me and said, no, we've got to do another 45 minutes. And wouldn't let me win the lottery and have an easy edit of like a shorter episode. And so he set this trap knowing that if he suggested a movie that he knew was 45 minutes to try and like skirt his responsibilities of editing, he's like, I'll have two movies. And he picked the two most garbage piles of filth imaginable and pretended he had accidentally found them. Yet somehow he goes, oh, I don't know, we could look through the list, but whose turn is it to pick today? And you make this big fucking song and dance out of it. Is it mine? Oh, well, I had some stuff in the Lost Vault. Here, let me see. Oh, look, it's already loaded up and on screen and ready to play from my PS2 that is somehow plugged in and ready to record
ready to go.
and loaded. Yeah, fuck you. It's a PS2 Dutch game that is dubbed into English as the shittiest fucking goddamn cartoon you have ever seen. There's no way you've seen something as bad as this.
To be fair, the version we watched was on PS2. This game is also available on PS1, DS, and Wii.
Is it actually, though? Are those different games?
Those
or
are the
not?
same game that I
Okay.
linked you. So this movie, the one we watched, is called Dalmatians 3 for the PS2. It is also on PlayStation 1 as Dalmatians 2, and it's also on the Wii and DS as Dalmatians 4. It was released multiple times on different consoles with different titles and different art.
Cool. Welcome to Rough Cuts, by the way. It's our show where we watch a bad dog movie and then talk about it. Well, sorry. Talk about the dog. We rate the dog at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can't rate the co-host. You can't rate the co-host.
I'm going to get a flight to wherever you live.
Well, it's somewhere
and
snowy where there's dog races on sleds.
We'll get to that. Get to that.
Anyway, I'm Boyks. That's Ilyon. Yes. Dalmatians 3 or 2 or whatever. Let's start with that one. That's the one we watched first.
I said that as a, punishment for you, I wouldn't write any notes.
Uh-huh.
But then I realized that I needed to write notes because otherwise I wouldn't be able to follow this plot. Both because... I would say it wasn't because it's convoluted, but it was convoluted. But it's also because these movies are so, hammer to the head boring and brainless that it tries to... Your brain puts up a barrier to protect you and stop you from remembering what's happening.
Yeah, a little bit.
I have the plot in a line. I have a flowchart of plot here, which is pranks to gingerbread to prison to godhood ascension to prison break back to gingerbread.
Back to gingerbread. No, that sounds
it's like
accurate.
the hero's journey.
I should say there is a link between the two movies we watched. They're both from companies that make knockoff Disney movies.
Yes.
So Phoenix, I think it's Phoenix Games or Phoenix Interactive, one of those.
Yes.
That's the company that makes the bullshit video games.
It's Phoenix Games BV, a Dutch publisher that self-stylized as a super budget publisher.
Yep. So they would sell these games in UK stores for £7, basically. As a budget bullshit game that you pick up.
Yeah, absolute fucking pennies.
Yep. And it shows. It shows. Most people might have heard of this from the video game Animal Soccer World, which became a bit of a meme, I think. But I don't think a lot of people have heard of their Dalmatian game. So that's why we watched that one. And then the other one, the other movie we watched, which we'll get to, is called Curly the Littlest Puppy. And that's by Jetlag Productions. And produced by Good Times Entertainment, which is the same distributor and production company that helped with Quigley, at least distribution-wise.
Yes.
So, Jetlag in 94 and 95 made 12 or so knockoff Disney movies all in a year, and just shat them out. To VHS to try and trick people into buying them. And one that we watched was Curly.
Yeah.
So this is Pocahontas and the snowman that's magic and, stuff like that. Just try and trick grandma into buying this tape.
So I know, now that we've described these companies and people know exactly what we're getting into and what you put me through, I just have a really simple question to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Are you proud of yourself?
I think I made a
Do you think
decision.
that your mom would feel happy about what you did today?
My mom doesn't know what I do. I don't know what are you talking about.
I'm just saying you won't see the light of heaven.
So after we did the puzzle, like putting the puzzle pieces together, and we did the sliding block puzzle, and we did the other
you
puzzle
tried to
and the
like
coloring
also then be
book.
like, oh look, here's the game, and do all this bullshit because you were so fucking proud of yourself. And I'm like, just play the fucking movie. Just fucking, I realized at that point the trap that I had walked into, and I was like, just fucking do it. Just do it.
The
Like,
gun
I
was
get it.
already
You don't have to-
loaded. Like
You don't have to tap dance on my grave. I'm already dead.
So Dalmatians 3, I guess we will try to describe what happens in Dalmatians 3. It's only 45 minutes. It can't be
Holy
that dense, right?
Fuck. Holy fuck, man. This thing is wild. I'll admit to a slight fascination while watching this. Because
it's just baffling, is what it is.
there are some really, really funny moments because it'll be like, oh, look, we've stolen the gingerbread, Charlie. We've stolen the gingerbread. The gingerbread is ours. Oh no, it's the police. Damn. Like, it'll be a pause like that and then, damn. After, like, oh, it's the police. Damn. And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
You don't buy gingerbread hearts without money, and you don't have it.
Damn.
So dream on about your gingerbread. Conceited ape!
It's the most stilted, awkward delivery. There are people out there that think The Room is incredibly funny because of its stilted dialogue and the fact that it doesn't realize what they're doing is bad. I think this realizes what they're doing is bad, but just doesn't give a shit.
They just don't fucking care.
And it's so hard to make something this funny unintentionally, but also intentionally, and I don't know how they somehow did both.
Yeah, because it feels like they had to have known, because they just self-describe as a super budget publisher, and they know that they're just shoveling out shit. But they try to do a story.
They tried a little bit. I mean, they were making it up as they went. They didn't write anything.
Right. So one of the things, you mentioned this while we were watching it, and I'm like, I have some thoughts on that, but I want to save it for when we're doing this side of the recording. Because you were like, oh, it's like they're making it up as they go along. And my thought had been before that, which I was going to talk about on here, is that this has all of the hallmarks of you laying in bed as a 6-year-old and going, Dad, no, I want another story. And your dad running out of stories in the storybook. And he goes, oh, well, let me tell you about the 101 Dalmatians again. They had another adventure. And it's like, oh, what was that? And it's like, well, they went to prison. But then,
well, that's because the cops
they stole the
arrested
gingerbread.
them.
But then, like, they had to break out of the prison. But Charlie and all of the older dogs, they were in prison for a long time. But they caught the other dogs, but those dogs became gods, and so then they got in prison anyways.
Like, you're just writing yourself into a hole as you're telling the story.
Constantly. Like, oh, and then they opened up the trap door. But they couldn't escape yet because the trap door was just dirt.
They had to dig, even though they already digged. Yeah,
but
no,
it was a trap door.
It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. I have a theory about that also. I think they got the animation from the Dutch studio, and they had somebody dub it without giving them a script. And
that's possible.
And they probably just watched the animation and then dubbed it live while they were watching it.
That's possible. Yes,
I think that because there's also moments where like the animals are talking and the melds are moving, but nobody's saying anything, and then they're like, okay.
Not only is nobody saying anything, there's no audio.
That too. Yeah.
There was multiple times where I was like, oh shit, Boyks, can you stop? I think that I lost audio because you were silent and it was silent. I went to start typing to you to be like, oh, I think I've lost sound. And then suddenly, like, 10 seconds later, it would all just cut right back in.
Hey, Pollux, come here. The boys here want to fast to hand over the burglars we caught last night. What do you say about that?
Then let him come and get them.
Okay,
I hate you so much. Oh my god, the little waddle. Oh, Christ. Fuck this, man.
It's so good.
Fuck you.
It's so good. I don't understand. So let's talk about Dalmatians 3, the story, yeah. Charlie the cat.
This is pranks, as I had written it down.
Is doing pranks on the Dalmatians. So one of the dogs, I don't even know any of the dogs' names because I don't think they're important. Well,
I don't think they introduced most of their names.
There's Charlie the cat, and I think one of the dogs might be named Lucy. I think. Maybe.
I don't know. I tried to pay attention to that, but I remember Charlie the cat. Yeah. Because, oh my god, Charlie the cat. Let's get into Charlie.
There's also Butch the dog. That one's not a Dalmatian, though.
Yeah, but that one wasn't one of the main characters. That's not the Dalmatians.
But one of the dogs is complaining that Charlie the cat ate his bowl, which he implies means his food and not his actual bowl. And then that dog's like, I'm gonna fucking kill that cat. I'll beat his ass.
I'm gonna put him 6 feet under. Just you wait, you little fucker. I got a baseball bat in my trunk with a glove with it so I can have plausible deniability.
And then Charlie the cat walks out and is like, I fucking got you good.
This isn't an exaggeration either. The dog goes full on murder. It's the weirdest thing for this ostensibly kids film.
My bowl is empty. It must have been Charlie.
How mean. As if he didn't get enough to eat himself.
One of these days, I'll beat him up so bad that he doesn't know who he is.
Oh, yeah, I'll help you. Since when do dogs allow themselves to be tyrannized by a stupid cat?
And then Charlie walks out and is like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to eat all your food from the dog bowl. I made you a cake. Here you go. Eat my cake. Yeah. It's not poison. I guarantee it.
Don't be like that. It was only a little joke. I brought you something to make up for it.
And what may that be?
Cake. An A1 doggy cake.
It looks rather tasty.
Of course it's tasty. You don't need to look so skeptical. It's not poison. Just try it. Pepper. You sprinkled pepper on the cake. You nasty tomcat, you. You nasty.
I guarantee it's not poison. It feels like Shrek and Elsa poison the rest of the Disney cast on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's... Because, they swear. They talk about murder and poisonings.
It's a lot.
It's not for children, but it's very much for children. It's not for anyone, is what it is. I just want to say the animation for all of this, too, is basically just cutouts moving across backgrounds. They don't animate so much as they jiggle.
Yeah, they made, one animation cell, and then they just wiggled the sheet.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Charlie the cat made a pepper cake to prank them. And then the dogs decided they would get revenge on Charlie for all these pranks he's been doing, so they trick him into looking into a tree. And there's a mouse trap on his nose, and they're like, haha, we fucking got him, that piece of shit, Charlie. He's fucking dead.
Take that, asshole.
And then Charlie walks back, he's like, oh, we're escalating this shit.
So he comes in as a literal Flava Flav because he actually has food on his neck, but it's a gigantic gingerbread heart?
I think it's supposed to be one of those, chocolate boxes that are shaped like a heart for Valentine's Day, but he specifically says it's a gingerbread heart.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a chocolate box, but he calls it a gingerbread heart.
And it has Kiss Me written on it, like a Valentine's Day chocolate heart box.
Yes.
And he's like, hey, why don't you go get some gingerbread hearts? They're great. I love gingerbread hearts. Oh, we should go get that for our owner, who we love and has not been introduced at all and never will be in this movie, kids.
God damn it.
And then Charlie's like, how are you going to buy a gingerbread heart without money, you stupid poor losers? And the dogs are like, damn, you got us.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
So they pool together a bunch of their items so that they can swap it with the gingerbread hearts. not realizing that this is not that kind of economy.
Yeah.
There's actual money.
So they just like travel into town, go to the market, and
Steal.
Before they can even say they're going to like do a trade for the gingerbread heart, they just like kind of look at one and take one off the table to look at it. And then the shop owner at the stall was like, "Oh my god, police!"
Police!
And the cop shows up. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? Is there any dog I need to shoot?"
These millennials are destroying my Starbucks storefront.
"These dogs stole my gingerbread heart." "No, we didn't. We were just looking at it. Here, we'll even put it back." "No,
Yeah.
well, I'm guessing gonna have to beat these dogs to death. I am a cop."
And put them to prison.
Stop! Stop! Give that back immediately!
Huh?
Thieves! Stop the thieves!
Is there something not in order?
These dogs here wanted to steal my gingerbread hearts!
But that's not true. We didn't want to steal them, just to look at them before we buy them. Why? Do you have any money?
No, not directly. We wanted to do a swap.
Swap! You can't come up with anything better than that.
There's no more to be said. They're roaming stray dogs. They should be locked away.
I don't think this is any fun anymore. Let's get out of here fast.
Okay.
So it just literally escalates to them in prison. Two of them get caught by the cops and put into actual dog prison. Not like the pound. They describe it as prison. And the other dogs go back to see Charlie again. And they're like, well, they got caught and thrown in prison. And he goes, ha! Fucking got their asses. And
That's
then they
exactly
go,
what I was planning.
And then they also go, well, he's like, well, what did you guys think would happen if you didn't have any money and you were going to do that? And they're like, well, we were going to trade all of these things for it. And he goes, huh, that was actually a really smart idea. I wish I'd have thought of that. What? What?
Damn,
What?
I'll have to go to the market and trade next time instead of buy. Okay?
Okay.
But then, so there's two dogs, and they're like, well, we need to go save them from dog prison. Charlie, how do we find them, Charlie? Where are they at, Charlie? And then Charlie's like, oh, don't worry, I can find out. Let me get my owner's laptop. We'll go on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't want to go onto the internet.
And then, while that happens,
What?
we get, all I can describe as like a 20-minute interlude. Like, it's like half the movie.
Yeah.
And this is where it becomes really hard to follow. Because the two dogs in prison learn that their parents that look and sound and are voiced by, because they're voiced by the same people. There's like two voice
There's
actors.
two
through this
people
whole thing.
doing all the voices in this movie, yeah.
And like the voices, like they'll do like laughs and they'll go, ha 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 ha.
They got
And that
Beavis and
is
Butthead
literally
laughs,
the
yeah,
laugh.
Yeah.
But they're in this prison, and it goes, oh, we know you guys. You guys are, and I can't remember the parents' names, but they name the parents. And they go, no, we're not. We're their kids. And you're like, wait, what? What is this? And then it does a flashback
Oh,
for like 20 minutes
it does,
of-
yeah.
of these dogs that are in prison with the two puppies, but it's their parents. But they look and sound the same as the regular dogs. So you're sitting there going, is this happening now? Is this in the past? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it's a little hard to follow, definitely. But it's the Dog Pound gang
Yes.
having a flashback of how their parents were murdered and killed in this prison.
Basically, and they go through this whole
Yeah.
prison escape thing, and there's two evil dogs that rule the prison as like the guards?
The guard dogs, yeah, / torturers.
Castor and Pollock, like Face Off.
That's true.
It's like fucking weird. Like, it's just this.
For some reason.
I don't.
Yeah.
So Castor and Pollock, these like fucking, they're Rottweilers, I guess, and they have this whole big long adventure thing of them breaking out of prison and those dogs they have a code for the prison.
Yeah, okay, so I can let me
Yes, of course.
So they can't break out of prison because there's a security system, there's an alarm, there's sensors, and there's also a code, and the code is 6 digits, and it can only be entered once, and it's mathematically sealed, so you need to solve a puzzle to get the code.
And what about the alarm system?
Can't we just turn it off ourselves?
The secret codes has 6 numbers, and there's only one try according to the law of averages. It's impossible to find the right combination.
So then what happens is the dogs are licking and sticking in the sweatshop factory, just like Kiss from JoJo.
Lick and stick, lick and stick, lick and stick.
Where when you put a sticker on, it creates 2 of them and splits them. Which is why we get the children that look exactly the same as the adults.
Hey.
It's just like JoJo.
Lick and stick. Lick and stick. Lick and stick. Lick and stick. Lick. Lick. Lick and stick. What's this? Faster!
So as they're licking and sticking in their horrible sweatshop, another dog from the Pound Gang, which is not the kids, but looks like the kids that also look like the adults,
Yes.
breaks in and then gets immediately caught and a neck
Because he
thrown
enters the
over.
code wrong. He goes to the code and he goes, how hard could it be? You just enter numbers.
Yep.
And just goes like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
And
Oh,
it
fuck,
fails.
I'm now on my ass.
It's not even that. He steps on an invisible sensor that isn't shown in the animation, and then a net falls on him. It's
Whoop,
dumb.
whoop, whoop. And then it just has the animation cell
Mhm.
just flips like horizontally like 5 times to show that he's scared.
He's caught, yeah.
It just flips it.
And then the
That's his panic.
Doberman or whatever steps up to the numeric panel and enters in the code 1 number at a time to turn off the alarm.
Yes.
Which the crow...
The crow, yes.
Who's
we
the
didn't introduce the
narrator
crow.
of the movie, watches the dog enter in the code. He's like, oh, it's not a code at all. It's just simple mathematics. That's just a number. The alarm.
2, 5, 3, 7.
Ah, but now they found the code for later.
That's supposed to be a secret code. It's
I
just
guess.
a simple mathematics.
What?
What? It's just 6
You, come
numbers.
along,
Simple
just at the right
mathematics.
time. Those other
Oh,
two
man,
won't
it's
make
just
it much longer.
mathematics.
You're
It's
still
just a number.
Come on, march.
That's not a
With
code.
the others.
Numbers aren't code.
Fuck. Fuck.
It's just 6 numbers. That's not a
Fuck
code.
you, Boyks. Why did you do this?
And so then the dogs break in, and they get the parents out of the sweatshop sticker factory / envelope stamp factory. I don't know what the fuck it is. And then they're like, oh my god, the alarm's gonna go off. That means the guard dogs are gonna come. Okay, let them.
Yep.
Or something. It's like a huge delay. We're like, oh, let them come get us. Who gives a shit?
And the dogs come in, Castor and Pollock, and then they hit the invisible sensor, and the net falls on them, and they're caught. And then it goes, and that's when Castor and Pollock became gods.
It sure does.
And then it just cuts out the flashback, and they're back in prison in modern times, and that's why they didn't escape the prison, is because Castor and Pollock ascended to literal godhood, I guess.
What will we do with them, boss?
Just leave them. With all the racket they're making, someone will come and free them, but not us. And now Castor and Pollux have become gods. No one can figure out how they managed that.
No, it's because they're King Crimson. They literally...
What the fuck happened?
They reversed the footage at that time, so the crow flies backwards. The numbers go backwards. I saw what happened.
What is happening?
Yeah? They, like, slice through time, alright, and erase time. And anyways...
this is my morning. I have to...
There's also something about, like, Charlie and one of the dogs trying to throw a letter down to the gang to have correspondence. But
yeah, Charlie all of a sudden is being helpful. He threw them
Yeah.
in prison as a joke. And now he's like, you know what? that was maybe a bit too far.
so he helps out
I
the last.
I know that I've been poisoning them and stuff, but maybe actually murdering them in a sweatshop prison is a bit much.
I mean, you gotta give it to Charlie here. He's making a lot of sense, right? So he wants to throw down a letter, but then he can't recover any letters to read the correspondence from the gang in the prison yard. So he leaves and goes to a garage sale to buy a grappling hook.
I have an idea. We need a line and a hook.
Exactly. Then you can let the hook down and they can hang a message on it.
Be right back.
Charlie ran off. He noticed on the way to the dog pound that there was rubbish in front of the lawns, and every house looked like a huge garage sale.
But
this is not to get them out. It's just to get the letters out.
Just to fish the letter out so that they can talk back and forth and come up with a plan, which immediately is irrelevant. Right? Then as they're sending message back and forth, the two evil guard dogs show up and almost get one of the messages, but one of the Dalmatians, who's not a Dalmatian, eats it. And then the dog's like, "Oh, you're gonna eat that, huh? Oh, that's all you're gonna get for dinner tonight. You're not getting real food anymore. We're punishment and cruel. You're gonna be licking stamps all day, just like your mother. Your mother was very good at licking. Ha ha ha
ha. So that you two pretties feel more comfortable here with us, start by cleaning up your pigsty.
Afterwards, it better look like it was licked clean. Your mother was very good at that.
Lick and stick, lick and stick.
What?
We are voice actors. Ha 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 ha.
But they have a plan. There's a secret.
They do talk about the mother's licking ability.
They do talk about the mother's licking ability a lot, which is weird, yeah. But the plan for the pound dogs is to find a secret passage. And also Charlie and the other dogs, and now there's a husky for some reason, also know about the secret passage, but from the other side. But they need to go through the market first to get to it on their side. So they can't do that because the market hates dogs, so they think they steal gingerbread hearts. So they need to blend in and not look like strays, so they just follow kids around the market.
Yeah, so that the police eye cannot get them.
I guess. And then when they make it to the point where they need to on the other side of the wall where the secret passage will eventually be, they decide to hide in a bush and then immediately fall asleep and forget about saving their friends.
Correct.
At the same time...
At the same time, they have a plan to break out of the prison, which is to dig their way out. So they dig into the corner. And they go, "Oh, but we should have somebody be guard dogs." And then it goes, Castor Pollock, we're punishing, oh god, what's his name? Butch, how dare you? And it's like, what happened here? Oh, I pissed all over, and now I needed to cover it with the dirt that we have here, because I dug, but it's in a different spot, in a different digging hole.
I couldn't make it outside to piss. And then the two guard dogs are like, "Well, if you're gonna piss in the ground, then you're gonna clean it up. You better clean up that piss."
Oh, okay.
May I ask what you're doing here?
Well, it was my fault.
What was your fault?
I needed to take a pee, and I didn't quite make it to the courtyard.
That's ridiculous!
Yeah. And to avoid your noticing it, we decided to cover it with sand.
Good old Butch, yes.
Typical Butch. As your punishment, you can clean the whole place out.
And you're in trouble if it isn't clean afterwards. We will check on it.
And then it shows them digging in a third spot.
Yeah.
But then it's just...
And this is
they
so
don't
they can dig a tunnel.
It's just a trap door.
Yeah. So the original plan that they mentioned was to dig a tunnel to get to the exit on the other side of the wall, where the other group will open up and let them out. But what they end up doing instead is digging down and finding a ring, which opens up a trap door.
And when I say digging down, it is flush with the rest of the floor.
Yeah, it's not down at all. It's just
there's no hole.
No.
There's no digging.
But
they don't animate any of this. There's nothing there.
They open up the trap door, and there's a dark hole in there. To which they say, "Oh, that's not a hole. That's just dirt." It opened to nothing.
What the fuck is going on?
So they need to dig another 2 feet to get to the tunnel. I guess.
Who knows? I don't. They go, oh well, yeah, no, that because the one goes, oh, that's not a tunnel. That's just dirt. No, it is a tunnel, but it's covered with dirt, and so we have to dig through the dirt to get to the tunnel. What? What? That's not how trapdoors work. That's not how tunnels work. That's not how prisons work. That's not how animation works. I hate you.
This follows my theory of they just got footage and then made up the dub while watching it. So they're like, oh fuck, why is the trapdoor back? It wasn't a hole at all.
That being said, how could there possibly be a story from this footage that makes sense?
Oh, I bet they didn't even have an order for the editing of the footage, and they just edited it afterwards. They just got a roll of footage. Almost certainly. Maybe. And they're like, fuck, what are we gonna do with this? Right?
Maybe. I don't know. It's
ridiculous. But so, they eventually dig a hole, is the important thing. And then they all jump in. And at the same time, the other group, with Charlie the cat and the dogs, wake up in the bushes. And they're like, oh fuck, we fell asleep. I hope our friends aren't dead. Okay. Let's push this block on the wall open, because that's where the secret passage is. Oh, but I'm too small, so the little tiny puppy's gonna have to stand on my back to push it. To which the grown adult husky goes, yeah. Let that small dog do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So then they push it open. They all break into the tunnel, which is not like a dug tunnel. It's like a train tunnel. Or a sewer.
I don't know how you're getting that
or
from
a crypt.
No. I don't know how you're getting anything for like that from this, because I would like to mention this background could have been done by my 7-year-old niece.
Sure.
This is a crayon background of just black with a couple of kind of looks like corners. So it's just, there's no animation to any of this. There's no artistry in this. This is almost impossible to understand what's happening, or God, it is indescribable how bad this looks. I had to put up so many images for this because it is...
Yeah.
You can't possibly believe that this was animated by a real company.
It's amazing. So as they all break out, the 2 guard dogs show up, and they're like, oh, we will go after them. And then they all run through the market again. But the Dalmatians end up knocking over a table or something. That gets blamed on the guard dogs, and the cop shows up and is like, oh look, 2 more dogs for me to shoot and arrest.
So somehow the cop kills God. Because Castor and Pollock are literal gods at this point. That's the plot.
Yep. Mm-hmm,
but they knocked over the gingerbread table.
The hearts,
so now they can steal dirty gingerbread that the lady doesn't want anymore.
Because the lady's like, well, now that my gingerbread hearts are on the ground, I might as well just throw them out. They're fucking trash. Only a dumb idiot would eat these.
Oh no, my gingerbread hearts are all lying in the dirt. I can throw them away. No one will buy them now.
And then the Dalmatian's like, whoa, we should give that to our owner. She loves gingerbread hearts.
Then all the dumb idiots grab all their hearts and are super happy about it. The end.
Sort of.
That's my story of pranks to gingerbread to prison to godhood ascension to prison break to gingerbread.
And the gingerbread hearts they got, one says, I love you. And the other gingerbread heart says, the ingredients in a liver sausage are a mystery, and we will never know what is in a hot dog.
Ha 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 ha. Credits.
The contents of a liver sausage will always be a mystery.
Huh?
What a masterpiece of cinema. I'm glad that this is on 4 game consoles with different titles to trick you. What a masterpiece. Well, that was our first 45-minute movie. We could have ended the
You're gonna make
episode.
me keep talking about movies, huh?
We could have ended the episode, but somebody had to complain.
I complained at the beginning of this, and then the minute that you suggested that there was a second one that you had, and I realized what was happening, I said, never mind, we don't have to. And you went, no. So don't you try and pin this shit on me.
No, it's fine. I have another 45-minute right here. We can just watch that
But
one.
you said that it's just by accident. So this one's called Curly the Littlest Puppy.
This is technically Japanimation.
Yes. Where did you find this pile of shit?
This was also Lost Media.
You evil monster.
I think this one was a YouTube upload, although technically it's also available on Tubi, so it's not as Lost Media as I thought it is.
No.
But this is a bullshit, like I said, Jetlag Productions. They put out all these shitty like Disney knockoff movies in 94 and 95 straight to VHS and DVD to trick you when DVD came out.
I just want to say, yeah, they're doing a real good job of tricking me because it says right on the box with this dog that looks like he's like mildly concussed.
Yeah.
The version children love.
Children love this version.
With an exclamation mark, so you know that they mean it.
I don't even know what that means. But this is done by the same animation studio that did the D&D cartoon and the Pac-Man cartoon. So
both classics.
Classic animations that people love. People were getting into that D&D cartoon for some reason. I don't know why.
You gotta ask them because I can't tell you.
So Curly the Littlest Puppy starts off with...
Can I tell you my note of the plot points?
The plot
in
progression?
Order?
Sure.
Okay, abandoned kid, and then an arrow to 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 Dog Queen, then to an arrow to the Charitable Order of the Fox Killers, and then a arrow to unabandoned kid, then an arrow to sled race, ? End.
I mean, that's roughly what happens.
That's pretty... I feel like I nailed it.
So, yeah, the movie starts off with a mom and dad in a winter climate, which we assumed was, like, Europe?
It very much seems like
somewhere?
Eastern Europe kind of thing. They all
kind of
like Scandinavian.
Scandinavian
They're all
or
very,
Dutch.
very blonde.
This again almost feels like they got animation from somewhere else, but it was a Japanese studio that did this, so they got direction to do this. But they're all blonde haired. They all look exactly the same, and the mom and dad are like, "I'm sorry, honey, we don't want to abandon you, but we're too poor, so we're gonna leave you with someone else to deal with it. Bye forever." And then they put this kid in a taxi, and she drives off. And then they go to the next kid.
Yeah, like then it zooms out, and there's another child.
And they're like, "I'm sorry, honey. We're gonna have to abandon you.
We know that we love you very much, but we're just too poor. Here is a limo from your aunt, and you're gonna have to go and live with her." And then they pat the kid on the back, and she goes in the limo, and they drive off. And then they go, and then it zooms out further, and there's a third kid, and they go, "Sorry, honey, we love you very much, but we're just too poor. We have to abandon you." And they stick them in a van, and they go, "You're gonna go and live with your uncle in Canada. Thanks very much. We love you. Bye." And then it zooms out, and there's another kid. And he's 16, and they go, "Listen, we're sorry that you're going to have to live on your own." He goes, "No, I wanted to anyways. I'm 16. It's really cool. Don't worry about it." And he drives off in his own car. And then it zooms out, and there's another kid. And this is, I think the last one is our main character. Oh, they kept one child. Holy shit. No? Or are they sending... How many children do they have?
He should be here any minute. Just think.
But also... one of the reasons why we think of this whole movie feels so European. It was really weird to find out it was a Japanese studio at the end. Because you're talking about, like, it feels Scandinavian, but part of that is because they're like, oh, we're from the Hrothgar family, you know, of royalty, and they act like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, we're put upon nobles, which is gonna make it real weird when we get to stuff later.
Because the aunt definitely feels like a noble, too.
I mean, she describes herself as a noble. She talks about her dog as being the Countessa.
Her dog is named Noblessa.
Her maid is Irish.
Her maid is Irish.
And calls the girl my little leprechaun.
Yeah.
Oh, don't take it personally, my little leprechaun.
She hates everyone.
That old sourpuss doesn't like anyone.
I'm
except
right.
that pampered pooch of hers.
And the lady, the Irish, like, helper calls her Lady, like, Jessica or something. I can't remember her fucking name even.
Madeline? Oh, okay, so the girl's name is Haley.
Yes.
And the maid's name is Maddie, or Madeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the aunt's name?
Oh, wait, I wrote that down, actually. Judith. Aunt Judith.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's okay.
Aunt Judith.
But she calls her, like, Lady Judith and Mistress Judith and stuff. So, like, that's European shit.
It's very,
right?
like, English upstanding, like, royalty bullshit. Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, they
Yeah.
do say, when they pack the last child into the car, they go, you're gonna take a taxi to the airport and fly to California.
Mhm.
So you go, oh, okay, this is a long trip, it's across the ocean, and this royal family that's been had bad times, one of the aunts is still rich, but she had moved to America years ago from Europe.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Like, that's obviously what it feels like. That has to be the explanation. Oh, it's so not, and it makes no sense.
And then it cuts to Haley at her aunt's place, being harassed by her aunt's shithead dog.
Yes.
Who is a purebred shithead.
Pure shitter.
Only way I can describe that dog is it's an Afghan and it acts like a total fucker.
Oh, I thought it was an Irish shitter.
An Irish? No, that's the maid. That's the maid.
Oh my god! Please don't let her.
So it does that.
So Dog Queen, we have Dog Queen.
Dog Queen is harassing the niece.
See, abandoned kid into abandoned kid into abandoned kid into Dog Queen. I'm nailing it so far.
And then the aunt comes in to berate the niece for being harassed by the dog.
Yes, because she just came back from the Temperance Ladies Club or some shit.
I'm gonna call them the Rich MILF Club. That's what they are.
This part really fucked with me because it gets real weird with this one.
Yeah. But she wants to be the president of this club, or she's the president of some other club, but she's trying to join this one also, or something. It's all
that.
Rich people status bullshit that nobody cares about.
Yes.
No, but she's berating her niece, she's calling her a little shit, and the whole thing is just like abuse. Abuse. Like you would expect it.
Really horrible.
It's really bad. It's what's that movie? Is it fuck? There's the movie about the girl with like powers that has Danny DeVito in it, and
oh god, Matilda.
Yeah, it's like Matilda.
Yeah, it's super abusive.
Yeah.
Like in Matilda, they're low class idiots though.
Mm-hmm.
This one, she's a high class, awful, miserable monster
She
who just
believes
cares about
in
social status.
In social status and pure blood. This is not code for anything.
She even talks about how her blood is too pure, and that's why it makes her pass out, because we actually get a fully live animated birth scene. When the dog starts giving birth, and then the owner faints. But there's also a dog that gets abandoned, thrown out of a limo at the same time.
Yeah.
And sneaks its way into the house, finds a rat in the basement in Groucho Marx glasses.
Groucho rat, yeah.
Jokes? They're not jokes,
no.
But it's constantly going, see, I'm making a joke. Don't you get it? It's a joke because I look like Groucho Marx, so it's a joke.
That's an interesting hat you have there, young pup. Maybe you call that a bow roller or maybe a helmet.
I would call them Bubsyisms. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty accurate. I would say Bubsyisms or Gexisms.
Mm-hmm.
Getting Gexual. You
has
can't
that
just
energy.
get Gexual. You know? I don't believe in premarital Gex, is what I'm saying. They're jokesy, you're jokes. Anyway. So Curly the dog is the mutt. It's a husky dog. It's called Curly because it has a curl in its tail.
Curly, the cutest, or the littlest puppy.
The littlest puppy. And Groucho Rat tells Curly, hey, why don't you just go upstairs? There's like free food. You could just steal it.
Hey, you could go fuck with that, like, aristocrat lady, eh?
So then Curly does that, but it's while the other dog, the rich dog, was giving birth.
Yes.
And then Curly, like, just sneaks in with all the puppies. But Curly's, like, 6 months to a year. Like, a bigger small dog.
Yeah.
Right?
It turns out not that big because it is a husky puppy, they say later on, so he grows really big. But he's definitely, like, he's not a newborn puppy.
Would not blend in at all. Yeah.
No, this will not come. I will also, like, you have purebred Afghan hound and then husky mutt. Like, this is not rocket science.
Not at all, no, but
this ain't fooling anyone.
Curly sneaks in to steal milk from the rich shithead dog while the other puppies are there. And then the niece finds out and the maid finds out. You're like, fuck it. Let the dog in. Who gives a shit? So they're like, we'll just keep this dog too. Let's put a bow on it with all the other puppies so that the aunt who fainted during the birth will not notice.
And then the maid goes, haha, yeah, look, you can barely tell them apart, is what she says, as she sticks them all on a line with this one dog that's twice the size of all the others, totally different coloring, totally different everything. And then the aunt walks in and goes, What the fuck is this thing?
What is this piece of shit?
Instantly. Which I actually appreciated that it didn't make her that dumb.
Yeah.
But it was kind of amazing how much, like, they set the whole thing up as like, oh, we're gonna trick her, she'll never know. And then
she says, what the fuck is this? And then the maid's like, what the fuck do you care? That dog that dog has just as much a right to drink your dog's milk as any other dog. What?
Which, no, actually, like, for once, I'm like, oh god, I hate that they're giving this, like, rich lady a point, but no, what?
So
no?
She threatens the rich aunt, and the aunt's like, fine, but if anything bad happens, I'll kill you all.
Yes. And then it goes to her meeting with the charitable ladies, and they're all sitting outside, having tea, and talking about their charitable acts. And I thought that it was going to kind of keep with the theme of she's associating with a bunch of really shitty, rich
like, they were also
like
going to be
is.
shitty, yeah.
But the wildest thing is they're all like, oh, it's so nice that you took in your niece, and then there's this lovely puppy. And we love him so much.
And you donate to charity, and you...
We're also charitable like you are, and we love donating to charity, and they actually seem to mean it. Meanwhile, they're all wearing fox furs.
They're all killing
literal
animals
dead
and
foxes
wearing them, yeah.
all over themselves, as they're like, it's so good that we're all involved in PETA and all these charitable organizations, and they're just covered in dead animals. And you're going, what is happening?
It's so good. And this is also after the scene where the small puppies of the rich dog kick Curly down the stairs.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Which is pretty funny. I love when a dog falls down the stairs. It's so funny. It's almost as funny as when a dog gets hit by a car. Oh my god, what the fuck were they doing? Anyway, so as the Rich MILF Club, that's their name. We're definitely not getting the names wrong. Is there, she's like, oh, don't worry, I brought a show with my beautiful dog show dog. And I'm so nice to my niece who loves me very dearly. That's why I've made her into my servant. Come, servant, feed them, bring them tea.
God.
So she parades out her dog and all the puppies, And then Curly comes out, and all the MILFs are like, oh, what's this horrible little fucking monstrosity?
Oh, look at how quaint it is.
Look how poor it is.
Oh, we love that. We're so charitable.
Now who in the world is this? That is the funniest thing I've seen in all my days.
It's so good.
Fucking weird energy of this goddamn movie.
This movie is also just rancid, just like the last one.
Well, one thing I was going to say is I think that, to be fair to this movie, the animation and drawing in this is about, like, 2 times better than the last movie.
Sure.
Which makes it about 30 times worse than any other movie I've ever seen animated.
No, that makes sense. The math, it's just mathematics. It's not a code.
It's not a code. It's just mathematics.
So then it's Haley's 8th birthday, and she gets a skateboard from the maid. So she spends the entire time skateboarding around in California, knocking people over with her dog.
This version of California is...
it's like
stunning.
Barbie, California?
I was gonna say, it feels like the Barbie movie.
Yeah, it's like the Barbie movie.
It's absolutely incredible. It's all these guys that... You know what I was thinking, actually, is this feels like a 90s, like, like Gruff, like, take a bite out of crime.
Oh, McGruff the crime hound, yeah.
Yes, like, it's that level of animation and look and stuff. Like, everybody is these weird characters.
Yeah, it's like an anti-drug ad. Yeah.
Yes, it has all of that energy.
Yeah.
Like, the guys that she knocks over this couple 3 times. And it's a guy who's wearing a crop top with, like, high frosted tips and, like,
it kicks
these
so much ass.
Triangle shades. And, like, what the fuck? It's an amazing look at what Japan thinks of California. It's so good.
So after she knocks over these people for, like, hours, is this fucking terrible song plays.
Just like a 4-second loop.
God-awful song that was killing me. Well, this song fucking ends. It's killing me.
Please let it not. You know what you did. This is the one time when I started to feel good about this because I
felt pain.
You felt as much pain as I did in this moment.
You ass. It's supposed to be.
You don't get to be like that.
It's supposed to be a trick against you, not me. Wait a minute. So then
you fucked up. You had to watch them yourself too.
The aunt shows up. He's like, "Hey, your father's coming back to pick you and that piece of shit back up. It's a bad thing, actually." Okay.
And the kid is unabandoned.
Yeah, so...
And then here's the twist.
Yes.
This is the twist time. Because she goes with the daughter to the
in her limo
house way up in the north with all of the snow and everything. Why does she go there, Boyks?
Well, it's because she... the niece... lives in Washington State, and she wants to enter her cool show dog into the Washington State Dog Show.
Because she's never won... She's won in every other state,
except
not
Washington
State.
Yeah.
Washington State? They were in Washington? What the fuck are they talking about?
I don't know. But so they go back to Washington State.
And they don't fly. Like, she had to fly to get to the aunt.
She lives in, like, a Lincoln log cabin.
Yes, and now she just drives up there. And as we know, Washington State, well known for its remote locations and heavy snowfall.
Moose, it's
moose,
yeah.
It's frozen lakes,
polar bears.
The fuck is happening? This is a goddamn fever dream.
They get out of the limo, and the mom and dad are there, and the kids are there. And then
they've unabandoned all their kids.
They've unabandoned all of their kids, and Haley was the last one
Honey,
they called.
you can come home. Your dad's crypto investments paid off.
And
he said he lost everything, but he hodled, and it worked out.
What killed me is this: we couldn't figure out how many kids they had because they abandoned so many.
Oh my god!
And then as they're cutting back and forth between the family and the aunt and the family and the aunt, at some point the dad moves and there's another kid behind him. Like they're just spawning.
And the best part about that is that they have, so when it's cutting back and forth between them, it's the dad standing there, and then the last time when he moves slightly forward and reveals a kid behind him, they added in a tiny bit of that kid's head that hadn't been in any other shot before that. That kid fucking zorps into existence at the ideal moment. It's fucking nightmare.
Like, how many kids are there? They keep showing
How many children do you have to abandon?
So then the aunt's like, oh, I'm here too because I want to enter my dog into the Washington State Dog Show. And everybody fucking laughs at her. That fucking dog?
Dumb moron.
You stupid piece of shit, purebred, awful, terrible dog.
I brought her back in person for one reason and one reason alone, so that Contessa Noblessa can claim the winner's circle in tomorrow's Washington State Dog Competition.
This Contessa Noblessa?
She's gonna enter the dog competition?
Kids, have some manners. I mean, if Aunt Judith wants to enter her prize Afghan in tomorrow's dog competition.
And they all just roast her ass.
Roasting her. Just like over the coals.
For 2 minutes. Like they
with no explanation.
Dragging this out.
And then she's like, why are you laughing?
Like, let's not be mean. Let's not be mean just because she wants to enter her dog into the dog car.
Let's not be mean about her stupid fucking purebred pile of shit. and well, that's
thanks for taking in my daughter, by the way, while we abandoned her.
We're responsible.
You dumb bastard. Like...
And then he's like, well, that's because the Washington State Dog Show is a dog sled race through the Iditarod.
Of course it is. That's why. How could it not be in Washington State? That snowy wasteland.
What? So, but then the aunt's like, well, I don't give a shit. My show dog is good at everything, can win every competition. I'll enter her into the dog show anyway.
It's a matter of pride.
What? But it's a race. It's not a dog show.
No.
So then they enter the race, and also Haley enters the race with Curly because they were practicing on skateboards in California when they were running everybody over.
Yes.
And then they enter the race, but it's not the Iditarod. It's not a chili dogs race.
No, they put it up on challenge.
It's on challenge.
They have
There's
a bracket
with like a loser's bracket.
There's a bracket. What is this bracket? Why is there a bracket?
And they're doing like sprints 1-on-1 instead. It's like a fighting game.
Yes.
And
like
then,
I said, they put it up on challenge.
The aunt loses immediately, and Haley takes it to the finals versus some smug shit kid.
They give him the worst smirk. God, he looks like such a little asshole.
And then as they're doing the race, suddenly Haley just veers off to the side for no reason.
Yes. And also for no reason, her aunt is just in the middle of a frozen lake.
Just standing there with her dog. And then
what?
Haley's
Why?
like, oh my
Why
god.
did she get there?
Aunt Judith, are you okay? And then Aunt Judith's like, I don't know why I'm standing in a lake, but it's starting to crack.
Aunt Judith, are you alright? Stay there! I'm coming!
Haley, help us, please! I'm frightened! The ice is breaking!
What happened to like the whole plot of her charitable women?
I don't know.
And like the abandoned kid, the maid, like all of it's just
the
gone.
Irish
just
maid? Yeah, I don't know.
The Groucho Marx rat.
Why
like,
was there a Groucho rat?
Fuck that. Who cares about that anymore? Now we're in Washington State doing dog sled races, I guess.
So then suddenly the aunt and the shit dog fall into the water, which you think would cause them to die.
It would. Yeah.
But instead, Curly jumps into the water after them and misses them.
Correct.
And then starts circling around them to taunt them like a shark circling its prey.
But it turns out what he was doing was at-atting them, because he was using the leash to wrap around them, we guess?
To tie their legs, yeah.
It's a guess. It's a guess, because they don't show this. It just shows him circle around them a bunch while they go, oh god, we're drowning, oh, please save us. And then he swims away. And then it shows them up on the shore, tied up.
And dragged onto shore, I guess. And then Haley like, whoa, Curly, you saved Aunt Judith. Why did you do that? Put her back.
Put her back. Throw her back.
And then everybody in the crowd is laughing at her shit dog that can't, do a sled race. And then the smirk kid that she was racing in the finals walks up with the trophy. And he's like, hey, Haley, you deserve this more than me. You're the real hero. Win this trophy.
No.
Here, Wolf and I want you to have this. You're the real winners here today. Besides, you and Curly had us beat anyhow.
And Haley's like, wow, thank you. But I don't deserve this trophy. Aunt Judith does for almost dying in a lake. She wanted it anyway.
What's Curly doing? I guess he figures that if she wants the trophy so badly, she can have it.
And she gives the trophy
and
to
everyone
her aunt.
cheers.
She's the real hero.
The end.
Then it just
Credits.
ends. It just ends then.
Are you? I only have one question for you, Boyks. Are you proud of yourself?
I think I found some bangers. I don't know what you're talking about. This is pretty good content right here. It's the most bullshit stuff.
This was infuriating. I did not think that we could sink a lot lower than Love on a Leash,
Ooh,
but
man.
I do think the second one is terrible, but it's mostly boring.
It's mostly boring is the problem with the second one, yeah. It's still baffling, but...
That first one is maybe... Like, I swore that we would never beat, in any medium, the level of trash that Love on a Leash is. Because it's just so despicable and so poorly done. And I think we might have. I think you finally did it. You finally dug deep enough.
And it took the power of the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation, the Nintendo DS, and the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah. You couldn't simply have the most popular video game system of all time. You had to have a gang of a bunch of them to do it.
They all got together with bats and then circled you and hit you like a
beat the shit out of
pinata.
me.
Like a pinata. Yeah.
Let's rate the dogs. First, let's rate Boyks. 0 out of 10 would not ever...
You cannot rate the co-host. It's in the rules. It's on my contract. My lawyer made you sign this contract.
Okay, let's rate the dogs.
All right, all the Dalmatians, the Husky, and all the Pound dogs are all one dog. I refuse to rate them separately.
Okay.
They are all, okay.
Okay. Well, you know how sometimes we have scales for rating the dogs? Like we have like the Chevy Chase
like the Chevy Chase scale? Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I know that I can't rate you, the co-host, but we have like, there's the Chevy Chase scale, which is really bad, but we have another scale that we rarely pull out that's really, really bad, and it's the Boyks scale. And these dogs are a Boyks out of 10. Fuck these dogs forever.
I don't think we have ever used that scale, actually. I could go into the tapes and
No,
look.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. All right, so next dogs.
The next
Keep
dogs
going.
are Noblessa, the shithead rich dog.
Just wait till next week, you motherfucker.
What did I do? Noblessa, the shit dog. I hate Noblessa. Noblessa teaches her pups to push dogs downstairs.
Double Boyks out of 10.
I would rate that dog as a should fall in a lake and freeze to death out of 10, I think.
Yeah, that's the double Boyks, yeah.
And then also there's Curly, the mutt dog that talked to the Groucho rat.
Oh my god.
that learned to skateboard sled.
This dog permanently looks concussed. Like, its eyes are always looking in different directions. The
Something's
animation
wrong with the
and stuff
animation
is
of the dog.
so bad in
yeah.
this. God, it's just disturbing as hell.
I would give Curly a "you're the real hero. Here's your first place trophy" out of 10.
And I would give Curly a "no, you're not the real hero. Pass that trophy on to Countessa, you bastard" out of 10. Royalty deserves to be acknowledged and rewarded. Thank you very much.
The important thing about that last movie, it was about family, it was about love, there were lessons we learned. Well, that's it for this week.
You can always check us out on social media, where we're Rough Cuts on Blue Sky and co-host, or you can email us, roughcutscast@gmail.com. If you'd like to give me any suggestions for how to make Boyks pay for this, I'm open to them. I'm the one that generally checks the emails, so I can get to them first. It's fine. Yeah, more than okay if you want to send those in, because I will use them maliciously, I promise.
They made another game called Animal Soccer World. We could watch that one too. Let me get the PS2
Please don't
out.
support our Patreon. Boyks pays for most of the movies, and he doesn't deserve any money for what he did. I hope he pays. Stop supporting us. We don't need it. He can pay for it himself. Thanks.
The real lesson here is that some media should not be
Deserves
lost.
to die?
Should not be lost,
Yeah.
and it deserves to be brought back into pop culture, so that people can be educated and know what type of media is out there and what lessons to learn from watching it. And we too
do not watch European animations. Is what I'm starting to realize.
If you want to support us, just like PBS, you can. Anyway,
I'll put up a bunch of early stuff on the Patreon for all of our wonderful people. We always do. I'm trying to put up more and more like actual clips from the movies that are exclusive for Patreon. And also, we always put up the episode like a day early for everyone there, too.
All right, see you next time, folks. I feel pretty good about myself.
I will revenge upon you at some point. I will salt the earth in which you stand. I'll find something, I swear to Christ.
Wow, being a real Countessa right here. Oh my god.
Damn.